National Gallery - London, United Kingdom. Location and building. National Gallery, London. Geographical setting. The National Gallery stands prominently on the north side of Trafalgar Square, in the city of Westminster, central London. This location places it at the cultural and geographical heart of the city, alongside landmarks such as Nelson's Column, St. Martin Enfields Church, and the National Portrait Gallery, which was once part of the same institution. Exact address: Trafalgar Square, London, WC2N5DN. United Kingdom. Closest underground stations: Charing Cross, Northern and Bakerloo lines, Leicester Square, Piccadilly and Northern lines, and Piccadilly Circus. Several bus routes and taxi stops directly serve Trafalgar Square. Walking distance from other attractions such as Covent Garden, the Strand, and Westminster. The building architectural style, primarily neoclassical, featuring a central portico with Corinthian columns, a pediment, and a distinctive shallow dome, giving it a grand but approachable civic appearance. Original structure: 1838, designed by William Wilkins. The building was intended to combine elegance with functional gallery space. Though initially criticized for being too small and modest, it established a permanent and central home for Britain's national collection. Key expansions: Victorian additions, 19th century, expanded galleries were added as the collection grew. Barry rooms, 1870s, designed to showcase large-scale works. Sainsbury Wing, 1991, a striking postmodern extension designed by Robert Venturi and Denise Scott Brown, dedicated to early Renaissance art. Its Portland stone facade harmonizes with the neoclassical architecture of Trafalgar Square while introducing modern design elements. Recent redevelopment: 2025, £85 million refurbishment of the Sainsbury Wing by Seldorf Architects, improving accessibility, gallery flow, lighting, and rethinking the display to double the number of works on show entrances. The Sainsbury Wing entrance now serves as the main public entry point. The central portico overlooking Trafalgar Square remains iconic, but is less frequently used as the main visitor entrance. History and governance: National Gallery, London Foundation and early years establishment, 1824. The National Gallery was founded when the British government purchased 38 paintings from the estate of John Julius Angerstein, 1735 to 1823. A wealthy Russian-born London banker and art collector. First home, 1824 to 1838. The collection was initially displayed in Angerstein's townhouse at 100 Pall Mall. This modest start contrasted with the grand origins of museums such as the Louvre, a former royal palace, and the Prado, the Spanish royal collection. Moved to Trafalgar Square, 1838. As the collection quickly expanded, Parliament approved the construction of a permanent home in Trafalgar Square, designed by William Wilkins. The new site was more central, allowing free public access to art for all classes of society. Growth and expansions: 19th century. Acquisitions of major Italian, Renaissance, and Dutch Golden Age paintings expanded the gallery's reputation. Additions by architects like Edward Barry and Sir John Taylor enlarged the exhibition space's 20th century collection, further enriched by donations, notably the Samuel Courtauld collection of French Impressionists, later forming the Courtauld Gallery. During World War II, the entire collection was evacuated to Mynad Quarry in Wales for protection against bombings. Winston Churchill famously asked for a picture to be brought out each month for the public, leading to rotating single painting exhibitions in Trafalgar Square. Late 20th century present, the Sainsbury Wing, 1991, provided a modern expansion. For early Renaissance art in 2025, a major £85 million renovation of the Sainsbury Wing was completed, rehanging the collection thematically the wonder of art, governance and structure public institution. The gallery is a non-departmental public body sponsored by the UK Department for Culture, Media and Sport, DCMS trustees, managed by a board of trustees appointed to oversee acquisitions, policy, and long-term strategy. Director. The head of the gallery is the director of the National Gallery, responsible for artistic leadership, curatorial direction, and administration. Notable directors have included Sir Charles Eastlake, 1855 to 1865, expanded Italian Renaissance holdings. Sir Kenneth Clark, 1934 to 1945, directed during World War II. Neil McGregor, 1987 to 2002, championed accessibility. Dr. Gabrielle Finaldi, 2015. Charity status, operates as an exempt charity, meaning its assets are legally held for the benefit of the public. Ownership, the collection belongs to the nation, not to the monarch or government, making it a true public trust. Mission and role accessibility upholds its founding principle that art should be free and open to everyone. Unlike many other national museums at the time, education and research offers academic programs, publications, and conservation expertise. Conservation runs one of the world's leading art conservation studios, public engagement, committed to outreach through digital platforms, traveling exhibitions and community projects. Collection highlights, National Gallery. London size and scope total works, over 2,300 paintings. Time period, from the mid-13th century to 1900. Focus, exclusively Western European painting, unlike the British Museum or V&A, which cover broader categories like sculpture, archaeology, and decorative arts. Strengths, Italian Renaissance, Northern European art, Dutch Golden Age, Spanish Masters, French Impressionism, and British landscape painting. Masterpieces by period medieval and early Renaissance 13th-15th century Giotto, Pentecost, c. 1305 to 1310, an early move toward naturalism, Fra Angelico, The Annunciation, 1437 to 1446. Spiritual delicacy and color brilliance, Jan van Eyck, The Arnolfini Portrait, 1434. One of the most iconic paintings in Western art, Sandra Botticelli, Venus and Mars c. 1485, playful mythological allegory. High Renaissance, 15th-16th century, Leonardo da Vinci, The Virgin of the Rocks, 1483 to 1486, mysterious, atmospheric. SFUMATO. Michelangelo, The Entombment unfinished, 1500 to 1501. Rare surviving panel, painting, Raphael, The Madonna of the Pinks c. 1507. Tenderness and Grace, Titian, Bacchus and Ariadne, 1522-1523. Vibrant Venetian color, Baroque and 17th century Caravaggio, The Supper at Emos, 1601. Dramatic chiaroscuro, Peter, Paul Rubens, Samson and Delilah c. 1609. Sensual and theatrical, Rembrandt. Self-portrait at the age of 341640. Psychological depth, Diego Velázquez. The Rocky B. Venus c. 1647 to 1651, Spain's only surviving female nude, Claude Lorraine, Seaport, with the embarkation of Saint Ursula, 1641, poetic landscapes. 18th-19th century Romanticism and British masters, Thomas Gainsborough, Mr. and Mrs. Andrews, c. 1750, social portraiture with landscape J.M.W. Turner. The Fighting Tamara, 1839, tribute to naval history and industrial change. John Constable, The Hay Wain, 1821, idyllic rural England. 19th century Impressionism and Post-Impressionism. Maud Monet, The Execution of Maximilian, 1867 to 1869, politically charged modern history painting. Claude Monet, The Water Lily Pond, 1899, iconic impressionist, light study. Georges, Sarah Bathers at Asniers, Baba Sif, monumental pointillism, Vincent van Gogh, Sunflowers, 1888. One of the most famous images in the world, Paul Cézanne. The Avenue at Chantilly, 1888, bridge to modern art. Notable themes in the collection: religious works, many altarpieces and devotional works from Italy and Flanders, mythology and allegory, Botticelli, Titian, Rubens, portraiture from Holbein's The Ambassadors, 1533 to Gainsborough and Rembrandt, landscape tradition, Turner, Constable, Claude Lorraine, modern shifts, Impressionism and Post-Impressionism, bridging into modernism. Why these highlights matter: the breadth of the collection, covering 600 years of European painting, makes it a compact history of Western art. Unlike the Louvre or Metropolitan Museum, which are vast encyclopedic museums, the National Gallery is exclusively painting-focused, offering depth and clarity. Many works are iconic cultural symbols of Britain and Europe, featured in education, media, and popular culture worldwide. Visitor information: National Gallery, London, opening hours daily, 10 a.m. to 6 o'clock p.m., Fridays late opening until 9 o'clock p.m., closed. The 24th to the 26th of December, Christmas. The 1st of January, New Year's Day, admission and tickets. Main collection, free entry, voluntary donations encouraged. Special exhibitions, ticketed. Prices vary: £5, £20 typically. Discounts for students, seniors, and members. Membership, National Gallery membership offers unlimited free exhibition access, priority booking, members lounge, and free cloakroom use. Entrances: Sainsbury Wing entrance, Trafalgar Square. Left-hand side, main public entrance after the 2025 refurbishment. Fully accessible. Portico entrance, central steps facing Nelson's Column, still iconic, but mainly for events and special. Access. Facilities: caves, restaurants, the National Cafe, all-day dining, national dining rooms, modern British cuisine with Trafalgar Square views, coffee bar in Sainsbury Wing, shops, multiple gift shops selling art prints, books, stationery, and souvenirs. Cloakroom, £2 per item, free for members. Large bags, not permitted inside galleries. WI-5, free throughout the gallery. Seating and sketching, portable stools available. Sketching allowed with pencils, no wet materials. Photography, permitted for personal use in most galleries, no flash, tripods, or selfie sticks. Accessibility, wheelchair access. Step-free entry via Sainsbury Wing. Lifts to all floors. Facilities, accessible toilets, changing places, facilities, induction loops for hearing aids, support services, borrowable wheelchairs, large print guides, touch, tours, and British Sign Language interpretation available. Tours and learning, audio guide, available to rent, also accessible via the Smartify app. Free talks and tours, daily short talks by gallery experts. themed highlights, tours, family activities, art workshops, storytelling, and child-friendly guides. Research and study. The National Gallery houses a research library, archive, and one of the world's leading painting conservation studios. Visitor tips arrive early or visit on Fridays after 6 p.m. to avoid crowds. Focus on must-see masterpieces, if short on time. Sunflowers, Van Gogh, the Arnolfini portrait, Van Eyck, the Fighting Tamaraire Turner, the Rocky Venus, Velázquez Años. The Smartify app to scan paintings and access free multimedia guides. Combine your visit with nearby attractions, National Portrait Gallery, Trafalgar Square, St. Martin in the Fields, or a short walk to Covent Garden. Visitor statistics. Annual visitors, approximately 3.2 million 2024. Global ranking, among the top 10 most visited art museums in the world. Recent enhancements and exhibitions. National Gallery, London 1. Major revamp, Sainsbury Wing transformation launch, and celebration marking its bicentenary. The National Gallery has unveiled a striking £85 million renovation of the Sainsbury Wing, led by Annabel Seldorf, reopening on the 10th of May 2025 as the museum's new main entrance. The Times, +1. National Gallery, The Guardian, Architecture and Visitor. Experience. The redesigned entrance now features a double-height foyer with clear glazing, enhanced daylight, and a spacious square within a square. Public realm. National Gallery, The Guardian. LP's heavy steel gates have been lightened, and a new vestibule improves flow and welcomes visitors into a more open, accessible space. The Guardian. National Gallery. New amenitist ground floor additions include a 16,000 widescreen displaying higher resolution art details, Bar Giorgio espresso bar, a mezzanine restaurant by Giorgio Locatelli, a new bookshop, and an upgraded Piggott Theatre. National Gallery. Interior. Materials. Petra, Serena, limestone, slate, oak were carefully selected, with efforts to reuse, recycle, or repurpose existing materials. National Gallery, honoring heritage. Enhancing. Excelsiordorf's design retains the foyer's architectural integrity while prioritizing functionality and visitor comfort. Clearer sightlines, better lighting, and intuitive navigation have effectively addressed earlier criticisms about the wing feeling heavy and uninviting. The Guardian. National Gallery. Pays, despite some debate over losing parts of its postmodern charm. Most agree the result is significantly more welcoming. The Guardian. News. The Times. .2. CC Land, the Wonder of Art collection, rehang scale and structure. The reopening features the biggest rehangs since 1991, now showing over 1,000 artworks, up from approximately 6 in a thematic and spatially refreshed layout. The Times. Financial Times. Curatorial vision under Director Gabriele Finaldi. The rehang emphasizes storytelling through artistic dialogue, revives key works like the Burlington House cartoon and Wilton diptych, and groups masterpieces by theme and tone. For example, Monet in one vivid room. Financial Times. The Times +1. Visitor impact. Critics have hailed this as a sanctuary of beauty, praising how the new design enhances appreciation of masterworks through refined color palettes and thoughtful pairings. Financial Times. While some visitors argue the eclectic layout challenges linear art historical narratives, others welcome the tasting menu format for its freshness and discovery potential. The Times. 3. Highlights of current and upcoming exhibitions. Exhibition dates. Jose Maria Velasco, A View of Mexico First, UK survey until the 17th of August 2025. National Gallery Take One Picture, 2025 Child's Perspective on Peter Dehooch. Until the 31st of August 2025, National Gallery Millet. Life on the Land, the 7th of August -19. October 2025, National Gallery, The Times Radical Harmony. Neo-Impressionists, Sarah Van Gogh, Signa. Pissarro, the 13th of September 2025, -8, February 2026, National Gallery Right of Derby, From the Shadows. Candlelight Works, the 7th of November 2025, -10, May 2026, National Gallery Edwin, Austin Abbey, By the Dawn's Early Light, the 20th of November 2025, the 15th of February 2026, National Gallery Suberan, 17th century Spanish master, the 2nd of May 202623. August 2026, National Gallery, Siena, The Rise of Painting, 1300 to 1350, runs the 8th of March, the 22nd of June 2025, from Met. Wikipedia Karachi Cartoons, Myths in the Making, the 10th of April, -6, July 2025. FLO, London Centre for Creative Learning, opens 3 Mar 2025, FLO, London Constable and the Hay Wain. Remain until the 2nd of February 2025, FLO, London Popularity and Cultural Impact, National Gallery. London Visitor, Popularity Annual Visitors, around 3 to 4 million, making it one of the top 10 most visited art museums worldwide, closing parenthesis, global standing, comparable to the Louvre Paris, the Metropolitan Museum of Art New York, and the Vatican Museums. Rome, Appeal, attracts both art specialists and general tourists, thanks to its mix of free admission, central Trafalgar Square location, and iconic masterpieces like Van Gogh's Sunflowers. Cultural presence in media. Works from the gallery often appear in films, documentaries, and literature. For example, Skyfall 2012 James Bond film features Bond meeting Q in front of Turner's The Fighting Tamara. Van Gogh's Sunflowers is one of the most reproduced and recognized paintings worldwide. In education, used extensively in school curricula, art history courses, and public lectures. The gallery also provides free online access to its collection for learning. Digital outreach during COVID-19. Virtual tours and online exhibitions drew millions of global visitors, strengthening its cultural reach. The symbol of national identity, British treasure, Turner's The Fighting Tamara, 1839, was voted Britain's greatest painting in a 2005 BBC poll, symbolizing nostalgia, heritage, and the Industrial Revolution. Accessibility mission, free. Admission makes it a museum of the people, aligning with Britain's cultural policy of universal access to art. Public debate, discussions around whether Britain should repatriate certain artworks, like Van Eyck's Arnolfini portrait, highlight its international cultural significance, influence on art and society, artistic inspiration. Countless artists, from the pre-Raphaelites to modern painters, studied its collection for technique and innovation. Conservation, leadership, its scientific research labs are world leaders in art, conservation and pigment analysis, influencing museums globally. Tourism impact, acts as a cultural landmark of London, boosting both domestic and international tourism. Cultural legacy, the National Gallery is more than just a museum, it's a cultural icon of London. On par with Big Ben, the British Museum, and Buckingham Palace, it represents art democratization, ensuring that masterpieces, once reserved for elites, are accessible to everyone. Its artworks are cultural ambassadors of European civilization, shaping how global audiences perceive Western art history. National Gallery, London Summary Table. Table category details. Name the National Gallery location, Trafalgar Square, London WC2N5, DN, United Kingdom, founded 1824. Purchase of 38 paintings from banker John Julius Angerstein's collection. Type Art Museum, European paintings, 13th-20th century building style, neoclassical, 1838. William Wilkins with later expansions, Inc. Sainsbury Wing, 1991. Venturi and Scott Brown, recent enhancement, £85 million. Refurbishment, 2025, of the Sainsbury Wing by Seldorf Architects. Collection size, 2,300 paintings. Silites Van Eyck, Arnolfini, Portrait, Turner. The Fighting Temeraire, Van Gogh, Sunflowers, Velázquez, Rockaby Venus, Da Vinci, Virgin of the Rocks Departments, by Period and School, Italian, Dutch, Flemish, Spanish, French, British, etc. Annual visitors, approximately 3 to 4 million. Top 10 globally. Main entrance, Sainsbury Wing accessible entrance. Central portico is iconic but less used. Admission-free, permanent collection. Ticketed for special exhibitions. Opening hours daily, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Fridays until 9 p.m. Closed the 24th to the 26th of December. EJAN facilities, cafes, restaurants, gift shops, cloakroom, free Wi-Fi accessibility, step-free access, lifts, wheelchairs, large print guides, BSL interpretation. Cultural impact. Landmark of London. Inspiration in art and film. Skyfall, central to British identity. Global art, education and conservation. Leader official website, www.nationalgallery.org.uk. Architecture and expansions. National Gallery, London. Original building, 1838. Architect, William Wilkins, 1778 to 1839. Known for neoclassical designs. Style, neoclassical, with a central portico inspired by Greek temples and symmetrical wings. Location decision, built on the north side of Trafalgar Square, to serve as a national museum of art in a central, accessible location. Controversy at its opening. The facade was criticized as being too small and modest for a national museum, especially compared to the British Museum or the Louvre. Mid-19th century expansions. As the collection grew, extensions were added. E. M. Barry, son of Sir Charles Barry, architect of the Palace of Westminster, enlarged the gallery in the 1870s, adding more exhibition space. The facade, however, remained relatively unchanged, keeping Trafalgar Square's iconic balance. 20th century developments. Continuous renovations and gallery adjustments were made to improve display conditions. East Wing, early 20th century. Additional space for growing collections. North Galleries, 1975. Added to house 18th and 19th works. The gallery also became a center of art conservation and research, requiring modern labs and storage facilities. The Sainsbury Wing, 1991. Architects, Venturi, Scott Brown and Associates, Robert Venturi and Denise Scott Brown. Style, postmodern, blending classical references with modern design. Purpose, built to house the early Renaissance collection. 13th century works. Key features: grand staircase leading to galleries, natural lighting designed to mimic church interiors, enhancing altarpiaces, integration with Trafalgar Square while maintaining a distinct character, widely regarded as one of London's most important pieces of postmodern architecture. recent enhancements, 2020s, in preparation for the National Gallery's bicentenary 2024. A major £85 million refurbishment was launched. Architects, Zeldorf Architects, New York-based firm, Focus, revamped the Sainsbury Wing entrance to improve accessibility and visitor flow, upgrade orientation spaces, learning centers, and visitor facilities, restore some of the older gallery interiors for modern lighting and climate control. Completion expected 2025, positioning the gallery for the next century of visitors. Architectural identity combination of styles. The National Gallery is a blend of neoclassical elegance, Victorian practicality, and postmodern innovation. Urban role. Its presence on Trafalgar Square makes it a defining landmark, harmonizing with Nelson's Column and St. Martin in the fields. Symbolism reflects Britain's cultural mission to keep great art in the public domain, accessible to all. Security and modern challenges. National Gallery, London security measure, site security, teams, trained guards, patrol galleries, entrances and exits, CCTV and surveillance. Extensive monitoring across exhibition halls and public spaces. Restricted access, back-of-house areas, conservation labs, and art storage are highly restricted. Art transport, security, masterpieces loaned for international exhibitions are escorted under armed police protection and insured for millions. Emergency protocols, fire suppression systems, alarms, and strict evacuation procedures are in place. Past incidents and risks. Theft attempts. In the 1960s, the gallery was among institutions targeted during a spate of art thefts in Europe, though most attempts failed. Unlike the Tate or other European museums, it has avoided major high-profile thefts. Vandalism. 1914. Suffragette Mary Richardson slashed Velázquez's Rockyby. Venus in protest of women's rights suppression. 1970 S8. A few minor attacks. Paint splashing, scratching. Closing parenthesis. 22.2. Climate activists just stop oil staged protests, including attaching themselves to Van Gogh's Sunflowers, protected by glass, so no permanent damage. Ethical and political challenges. Art ownership and repatriation. Some works, for example, Italian, Dutch, and Spanish masterpieces, raise debates about whether they should remain in Britain or be returned to their countries of origin. Unlike the British Museum, the National Gallery faces less controversy, since most of its collection was acquired through purchase rather than colonial seizure. Censorship and representation. Debates on how to present historical art with religious or political themes to modern audiences, addressing diversity and representation within staff, exhibitions, and public programs. Modern challenges. Climate control and conservation. Paintings from the 13th-19th centuries are extremely sensitive to light, humidity, and temperature. Rising energy costs and environmental concerns challenge how to maintain stable conservation conditions. SUSTAINABLY. Digital shift. Balancing free in-person access with the growing demand for virtual tours, digital archives, and online education, ensuring copyright and proper use of digital reproductions. Funding pressures. Free admission, a cultural policy in the UK, means reliance on government funding, donations, and special exhibitions for income. Economic downturns and reduced tourism, for example, during COVID-19 created budget strains. Visitor management, overcrowding around famous works, Sunflowers, Arnolfini portrait can cause wear and disrupt visitor experience. Security staff must balance safety, with accessibility, future outlook, enhanced security tech, AI-driven surveillance, advanced glass protection, and crowd monitoring systems, sustainability goals, more eco-friendly, climate systems for galleries, public engagement, continued balance between protecting masterpieces and making them accessible to millions each year, resilience. The gallery has shown adaptability to challenges, wars, protests, pandemics, and continues to evolve as a global art institution. The National Gallery, London, stands today not only as a home to some of the greatest masterpieces of European art, but also as a symbol of cultural accessibility, resilience, and national pride. From its modest beginnings in 1824 to its current role as one of the most visited art museums in the world, the gallery has continuously adapted to the changing demands of conservation, education, and global engagement. Its blend of neo-Victorian and postmodern architecture mirrors its evolving identity, while its free admission policy reflects its founding mission to make art available to all. Facing modern challenges of security, sustainability, and digital transformation, the National Gallery remains firmly committed to preserving its priceless collection for future generations, while inspiring millions of visitors each year in the heart of Trafalgar Square.